The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us tonight for the Trilogy presentation. We hope that all of you are ready for a power-packed night to talk about just OPTAVIA and the Trilogy. So,
we ready to go?
Over? I think so.
All right.
Well, my name is Russ, Scarce, and this is Traci, my beautiful wife. And we'd love to talk to you just briefly a little bit about our story. Why don't you go first, Traci?
So as you can see here from the visual, this was me on the left, pre-OPTAVIA. I lost 82 pounds and truly gained my life back. It was a tough 13 years that I spent that overweight, that unhealthy, and I never want to go back there again, and I'm never going back there again. I remember going to see my doctor, and she was telling me that I was taking so much time taking care of everybody myself, but forgetting to take care of myself. And what would happen when I dropped dead? Who would take care of my kids? Who would take care of my husband? Who would take care of my accounts at work? All these things that were so important to me, and yet I wasn't taking care of myself. I left that office in tears, gained another 17 pounds, saw my friend's picture on Facebook and said, "Help me." I was like the girl at the window that just wanted out. And so I called my girlfriend. She told me about OPTAVIA. It was a huge blessing. I got my box. I was a foodie, so I tore into that box, started eating a feeling. I didn't read a thing, and the rest was history. 82 pounds later, here I am talking to all of you.
Wow. You know, I remember the day. I do remember specifically the moment that she got that box and she just said, "I am taking charge of my life today." And as you can see, I was on the verge of not feeling so good myself. You know, I went to the doctor as well, and I had a very similar situation to where my doctor said, "Russ, you are not going to see your children graduate from high school."
Yeah.
That was a shocker. I don't think I even came home and told her. I just kind of kept it to myself and said, you know, I'm going to go and I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do all these things, but none of that worked. You know, you can't outrun a bad diet. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So when Traci started this program, it was amazing to see the transformation that was taking place with her. And I said, I've got to get in on this too, because I want to be there for my children. I want to be there for my children's children.
Plus, I was starting to look good.
Yeah, so I myself decided to take charge, and OPTAVIA, you know what, I lost 65 pounds, but I think all of the things that I gained, friends, just a new healthy lifestyle, it's just amazing what it did for me.
So let's talk to you a little bit about OPTAVIA's story and OPTAVIA's credibility. I'll tell you what, this company is far beyond anything that you could ever imagine. You know, before I go into the details of the transformational program, I'd like to give you a little bit of a background on who we are. Who is OPTAVIA? A company committed to providing solutions for creating optimal health. Over 20,000 OPTAVIA coaches, and that's a lot of people. Wow. Co-founder Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, he's a New York Times bestseller, former critical care physician. He is the smartest man I know. I say it all the time. Medifast Inc. is our parent company, and I'll tell you what, they are a leader in safe, effective, proven meal replacement. Their products and programs are recommended by doctors and people everywhere. Our program is safe and effective in clinical studies conducted by researchers from major universities and teaching hospitals. We're an American company. We're US based. We have a strong corporate and field leadership program. We're even traded on the New York Stock Exchange. And as you can see here, we're Forbes 2017's America's most trustworthy companies. I mean, hello, what a track record. And to top it off, over 1 million lives impacted. Not many companies can say that.
That is crazy.
We truly focus on lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. It's surprising, but I guess it's not surprising if we look around. So I'll tell you what, OPTAVIA has a 4-component system that you will not find anywhere else. We're going to talk to you about those 4 components. First, starting with your OPTAVIA coach. We're OPTAVIA coaches. We're caring, we're knowledgeable, we give that one-on-one support all the way through this healthy lifestyle program, not only for the weight loss phase, but all the way into transition and maintenance. We guide you towards healthy habits, providing encouragement, support, cheerleading. We are here for you every step of the way.
So, second component. Now, Dr. A's Habits of Health. It is absolutely incredible. With the new system, steps to long-term success, man, I'm just almost at a loss of words, because this book, when you dive into it, it is just going to start getting you thinking about all of the little things that you're doing in life. Now, small, consistent changes over a long period of time, that's how you sustain lifelong transformation, just one healthy habit at a time.
We always say it's one thing to get you healthy, but Dr. A's Transformational Habits of Health system helps you gain the knowledge to keep the weight off, to stay healthy. So the OPTAVIA community, I'd have to say it's probably my favorite.
Mine too.
Think about the times you wanted to make an effective change in your life, educational, professional, sports team, church, synagogue, wherever you may go, right? Wherever your community is. Community is a place where you can feel welcomed and supported to be in community. Like-minded people who are focused on creating health in their lives. The lifestyle change that can happen is more likely to be sustained when you're in community. Our optimal health community is a place for friendships, and it's a place for mentorships. Russ and I have found that absolutely within our OPTAVIA community. It's a place to learn and grow, and it's a safe place. Not to mention all the tools that OPTAVIA gives us, the local and the virtual communities, the habits of health calls, daily texting campaigns, robust Facebook groups. Our Facebook group is the bomb. All the Facebook groups are amazing. And not to mention our nutritional support team, bar none, the best in the business.
Now, fourth, it's there. All of these other components, they are such a huge part of the system. Success comes from all 4 of these wrapped up into one. That 4th component is the fuelings. You eat 6 times a day, every 2.5 to 3 hours. You're drinking a lot of water. The nutrient dense, it has everything that you need and nothing that you don't, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the balance of the protein, the carbs, man, I can't tell you how amazing these things taste as well, too. They're designed.
They have to.
Yeah.
We're foodies.
Right.
We're foodies. I like food. Do you like food?
People that like food, you can't give them something that's bad.
Yeah.
So, these things are designed to give you exactly what you need in every step of your journey. So, let me back up a little bit here, because
we just gave you a preview.
Whoa! So, we just want to say how excited we are to introduce this couple. They're very near and dear to our hearts. We've known them for quite some time, and we just want to introduce Victoria and Seth Tunstall to give you a little story about how OPTAVIA has changed their life. Take it away, guys.
Hi, hello, good evening. I'm Victoria, and this is my husband, Seth Tunstall.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Well, our journey started about 3.5 years ago, and it was at a pool party, a family reunion, and Traci and I were sitting in the pool, and she was telling me all about OPTAVIA, and I just basically was saying, oh, that's great, that's nice, I've done diets, okay. But because she has family, I saw her repeatedly at family functions. At the time, I was 48 years old, and we had our first son when I was 42, had him a little late, our only child, and at 6 years old, he wanted to play Nerf guns and wrestle. and Mama was too tired. She was on the couch. We were both deputy sheriffs at the time, and we were two ships passing in the night. I was working 80 hours a week, and I was working at night. He was working in the day. So our life was not great. Our health was not great. So again, we saw Traci and Russ again, and I saw her shrinking. So I went to work, uniform pants at the sheriff's department, not fitting. I literally called her that night at work and said, I'm ordering OPTAVIA on Friday. And I did. Wow, my life has changed. So after 3 months, it was amazing. I was feeling good, feeling great. I was playing with my son, and people were noticing. So all of a sudden, I said, hey, my coach can coach you. And Traci said, no, you can coach them. So I took a leap of faith and I started coaching. I actually said no 3 times first before I went in. But what was great was it was so helpful to be able to help other people. And my husband was really supportive. And so after I started coaching, he decided to jump on with me. And I was so excited for that.
So to think back where we started and how depressed, despair, anxiety because of the weight that we had gained, and working a job where it was pretty much thankless. I was working undercover. I started putting on all the weight, and I was at the mercy of work, and went to the doctor, similar to a lot of other people. And I was pre-diabetic, high blood pressure, and I knew I needed to make a change. I then started to get on program with Victoria, and ultimately I ended up losing 65 pounds. Victoria lost 65 for a combined 130. Fast forward, what was so interesting was that now everyone is engaging and asking what we're doing because they're noticing the difference. So the natural progression was Victoria started coaching. And initially she just started coaching in order to get our son into private school. And then next step, every time it ended up getting bigger and bigger. Ultimately, we started progressing through the Healthy Trilogy because we finally decided that we needed to invest in ourselves. And that was something that we had not done for a long time. So fast forward, Victoria ended up retiring 4 years early from the sheriff's department. And I said, I'll give it 1 more year to see how this progresses. And at that point, when it came to this March, I retired 9 years early from a guaranteed pension. And some people may call me crazy, but I saw where this was going, and I saw the amount of lives that we were touching. And we were so blessed to be able to give the gift back from what we had been given. And ultimately, our son was able to get into private school, which is part of the healthy finances part. And now we just finished the final step in order to go forward with fostering to adopt 2 children, which is something that we've dreamed about, but we never thought would happen. So all we can say is thank you to Traci and Russ for saying yes. If not, we would not be here. And don't stop dreaming because it can come true.
Thank you.
Wow.
Wow is right. What a beautiful, beautiful story. It gets me a little, I think my eyes are leaking over here, to be able to retire early, be home full-time, both parents with their son, and then foster to adopt. What a dream. What a dream. And that's what we offer the Trilogy of Optimal Health. You guys, coaching uses a combination approach of one-on-one team and community support for clients and patients, providing guidance and encouragement. There's nothing out there like OPTAVIA. I'm telling you right now. The coach focuses on their clients' values, needs, their vision, their goals in 3 principal areas. The Trilogy of Optimal Health and Well-Being starts with the healthy body, then it goes on to healthy mind, and then a healthy finances. Our community of coaches are striving to not only improve areas of their lives, but also improve the lives of all they connect with. That is the best thing about OPTAVIA. Today, we're going to focus on 3 powerful areas of your life. We'll begin with healthy body and focus on physical well-being. Then we'll look at healthy mind and improving your mental well-being. Finally, we'll explore how to achieve financial well-being, something that I feel like we never really thought was possible. We want to bring on here, who do we want to bring on next?
Well, we would love to introduce a beautiful lady who has a story that is going to just blow your mind. She has been through all of the steps, and she, you know what, I'm just going to stop right there.
My eyes are already
and I'm going to let
just go.
The beautiful Jennifer Downs take it away.
Hello and good evening. I am so happy to be here tonight, so thank you for having me. My lifelong transformation actually began 3 years ago. I've been coaching for 1.5 years. My biggest goal when I joined the plan, I think like most people who join our plan, is to lose the weight. But what I did not realize in the beginning was that I was going to lose or gain so much more. I joined to lose, but what I gained, like you can't put a price on it. It's absolutely priceless. So I was at a time before I joined the plan, I was walking at one of my darkest, hardest seasons of my life. My husband had just passed away at a very young age of 49, unexpectedly. And I was thrust into this new world of raising a child, being a single parent and raising a child on my own now. And he has special needs at that. So, you know, as you can imagine, there was a lot of depression, you know, eating my feelings. I'm sure you can imagine what that was like. It was my darkest time of my life. And at that point, I knew I had to do something because the way I was going, I was broken, I was depressed, I was extremely unhealthy, both in body and in mind, and I needed to change the trajectory of my life, or I wasn't going to be there for my son very much longer. So if it was going to be, it was up to me. And I knew I had to reach out to my coach and make that change. So I went on to lose 160 pounds. Let me repeat that, 160 pounds. And I am very proud of that because there's been no other plan that I've ever done, you name it, I've done them all, where I have been able to lose that much, but even better yet, keep it off. So I know my coach knew that how much the coaching aspect of this plan would change my life. I couldn't see it for myself yet. I was losing the weight, but I wasn't at my goal weight. And I kept saying, I want to wait till I get there. And I just couldn't see coaching for myself yet, but she could. That's what I love about coaches is they see the possibility in their clients, you know, before we do. So I kept playing the what if game, and I kept telling her no. For 1 whole year, I said no to coaching. I kept doing the what if game. You know, can I do this as a single mom, or can I do this while working full time? I'm also a teacher. So work full time as a teacher, come home, take care of my child, my special needs child, taking him to appointments. So it was a lot of stress, and I kept thinking, well, how can I fit in coaching? So I went on to play that what if game. My only regret now is that I did not start coaching sooner. Why didn't I ask myself, well, what if this changed my life forever? That was the one question I didn't ask that I wish I had asked a year prior, because coaching has changed my life forever. And as a result, it's also changed my son's life, which is absolutely amazing. And now we have this life that I never dreamed was possible. My coach came alongside me and said, you belong here. You belong here doing this with us. She said I had a heart to serve, which I do. And she said, coaching is just loving people all the way to healthy. And you've done the 5 in 1 plan, and now you're just teaching them, your new clients, how to do the 5 in 1 plan. So coaching is just loving people all the way to healthy. I can do that. So immediately I was able to connect with the coaching community, which is awesome, and for the support. And I didn't have to know how to do anything because they came alongside me. We team coach every step of the way. So not to mention the accountability. I had accountability with being with my coach on the 5-in-1 plan, but having accountability as a coach is like 10 times as great. I would not believe it if I wasn't here for myself. So now that I have clients and I'm a coach and loving people all the way to healthy, I want to set that model for them. That's a built-in accountability that will never go away. Talk about sustainability for life, right? So that's what I love about our plan is the Trilogy. So not only do we teach having a healthy body, I've lost 160 pounds. It's proof that it works, right? But also the healthy mind is the second part of the Trilogy, teaching the habits of health out of Dr. Anderson's habits of health system. And that's what makes our plan sustainable is because you learn those healthy habits. You're not going to go back to your old habits and gain the weight back. But the third part, which I think is just the icing on the cake, so is the finances, the healthy finances. I was going on a teacher salary, day to day, paycheck to paycheck, penny by penny, wondering, waking up in the morning, going to work, coming home, going to sleep, day in, day out. So I thought, okay, this is as good as it gets. This is what my life looks like, for the next however many years, that God would bless me with. But I had no idea that the healthy finances of the Trilogy would change my life forever. And as a result, of my son. So now, through loving people all the way to healthy, that's all it is now I have paid off all my bills. I get to travel several times a year with my son, creating awesome memories that we never would have had before. And especially being a single mom now, I don't have to worry about, okay, how am I going to pay for my health, travel bills and things like that. We can go and we can create those memories together, something that he and I so desperately needed from the beginning. And now we have that now. So I never thought, that would have been possible at all. So now I'm living a life from surviving to thriving, if you get that. And I'll never go back. So this journey has been absolutely priceless. Traci and Russ, I want to thank you very much for having me on tonight and letting me share the opportunities of this Trilogy, and how it's changed my life. And I hope that, I spoke to someone else and it'll change theirs too.
I mean, honestly, how could we not have Jen on? Jen's story, Russ was crying. I was crying. We were both crying, and we've heard her story for years. And so what a blessing. What are the benefits of becoming an OPTAVIA coach? I mean, have you heard enough already? You guys, there is a health coach shaped hole in everybody's heart. You just don't know it until you say yes. We get to pay it forward. We get to make a difference in people's lives. In a world where a difference needs to be made, you can make a difference. It reinforces your decision to be healthy. It keeps you accountable. It's fun and it's rewarding. You guys, I say this all the time. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. This is fun and rewarding. You leave a legacy, not only for your own family and for your own friends, but these people that are saying yes, they're leaving a different legacy than they normally would have. I mean, the ripple effect just goes on and on. And like Jen mentioned, the compensation is the icing on the cake. It's the currency of goodwill. Financially, there is no cap to your income. The earnings are based off your efforts. We give you the tools and you set the pace. But next,
we'd love to introduce another couple that is just so near and dear to us. They are a young, spunky couple, full of energy. And we just want to introduce you to Will and Amanda Gutierrez.
Hey,
Hi.
what's up, everybody? I'm Will. It's my wife,
Amanda.
Amanda. We're so excited to be on with you guys tonight. First of all, we've been married 8 years. We got 3 amazing children, all boys, Ezra, Zion, and Zayden, all under 5 years old.
And a teenage girl.
And a teenage girl.
We took her.
And 2 years ago, we had the opportunity to move to Bakersfield, California, to take on a church as senior pastors. And it was a wild journey. And in the whole process of that, I watched myself, my wife, we were just struggling in so many different ways. One of them definitely was in the finances, but my wife started to struggle with her weight, just the move away from family, away from friends, away from people that were dear and near to our hearts. And then being in this deserted island, feeling like we have no one, we chose to go to the cheesecake, the cupcakes, and the ice cream and the pizzas. And there was weight that needed to be lost. And I heard my wife on the phone one night talking about, I need to lose this much weight. And she was having like this whole little interview process, and she was being introduced to OPTAVIA. And I remember looking at her and saying, Amanda, we're not going to go down this same roller coaster of trying something and nothing happening and yada, yada, yada. And just to see the results, my wife losing over 40 pounds and just seeing the victory, not only in her actual body, but in her face, in her attitude, in her love towards people. Come on, because it changes everything.
Yeah.
And then the finances. I was in the position where I'm like, all right, here I am pastoring a church.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like I need to be able to give my kids more. We need to have more money than what we're making. We need to be able to take our kids out and do different things. And just to see the income that started to come through this whole program just changed my whole mindset. Then going to convention with my wife for the first time this last month changed my whole mindset. Once I got home, I got on program, and you know what? I'm good to say that together now we're down 60 pounds, right? And good things are happening. And I feel like I got a good 10 to 15 pounds more to go. And I could see that coming off in the next few weeks.
Yeah. So essentially he was the skeptic in the beginning, and I was like, I don't care if no one supports me. I'm doing this because something needs to change. The narrative needed to change. So we're talking about a trilogy: body, mind, finances. So first it started with my body. I was only able to wear leggings in a size 14. I was miserable. I was depressed. I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. And so I had to change. And so I met Traci. Well, Traci reached out to me. I always tell people, well, she tells people she broke her batting average because she reached out to me. She was watching me suffer on Instagram and share about how I was going to the gym and nothing was working. And she said, girl, you don't have to go to the gym 5 days a week to lose weight. And I said, what? So I started last March, and with a very short amount of time, I lost 40 pounds. I mean, talk about just total body transformation, going from a size 14 to a size 8. And then the mindset started to change. You know, I made a decision that healthy was going to be who I was, not just what I do. You know, and that's really where the educational pieces, the habits of health, really getting my mind wrapped around this whole idea that healthy is so important. And that's how we change our attitudes and our perspective, and how loving people to life really changes that as well. And I feel like in that season, you know, when I lost this weight, I found a new purpose through health coaching. You know, I started to see people sending me text messages about how they lost 8 pounds 1 week or 20 pounds, you know, and whatever. It didn't really matter. They were losing, and they were finding themselves again, just like I found myself, and my coach helped me do. So I loved that the mindset started to shift. And then I got to just find amazing financial opportunity through this. I didn't even become a coach for the money, because I didn't even understand the compensation plan. I was like, well, this is all just gibberish to me, but I would love to help people. And so I can honestly say, you know, my husband was looking for a second job, and I told Traci, I can't do that. My kids need their dad. They need dad to stay home. I don't need him working 80 hours a week. So what can I do? She said, girlfriend, you were made to coach. And I said, yes, I am, Traci. So now we're here, and we've doubled our income. I love to love people, and it's just an amazing opportunity. This has been truly life-changing, life-altering. And Traci's right. There is a health coach shaped hole in everyone's heart. And we just thank you, Russ and Traci, for believing in something in us that we didn't see before. So love you guys.
Yep. Keep helping people.
Yep.
Hey.
Well, 3 action-packed stories, 3 totally different backgrounds. Our progressive growth model is the way to go. You know, OPTAVIA coaches move through these 3 competencies. You learn one competency and then you go to the next. Our coaches acquire and support clients. We start at the basics. In addition to acquiring and supporting clients, a business coach acquires and works with coaches to teach them how to be successful. A business leader, which is the natural progression of being a business coach, a business leader works with clients and builds teams of coaches and business coaches. The degree of compensation will follow these skill sets and the level of activity. Remember, we give you the tools, you set the pace.
So how does it work for coaches? It's a relational model. You know, it is focused entirely on just optimal well-being from start to finish. You're independent, you're self-employed. Whether you want to be part-time or full-time, it is there and it's up to you. Now, low startup and operating costs, there's no inventory necessary. Now think about this. If you were to go out and start your own business, what's it going to take? You're going to have to buy computers, office space, all of the accessories, all of the infrastructure. That's going to cost thousands of dollars at a minimum, right?
I need a nap just thinking about it.
$199. That's the best money that we have ever spent.
The best.
You know, it's flexible too. You can work from anywhere. We've worked from all over the world, touching clients, working with coaches. There's no quotas. There's no sales manager saying, you need to make these numbers.
Nope.
It's entirely up to you. Wherever you want to go, you run at your own pace. And complete, thorough training.
Yeah.
And the support is unmatched.
The OPTAVIA coach support has grown and stretched me into becoming a leader, transforming into a leader. We have a comprehensive training system. It's duplicatable, no need to reinvent the wheel. You learn as you earn and you learn as you go. You don't need to know it all to become a coach, you guys. You work with a business coach and a mentorship team who knows exactly what to give you when you need it. Again, just-in-time training. We employ team coaching, so you apprentice as you grow. You're following the leader. I always say a great coach plays an awesome game of follow the leader. You work at your own pace. You've heard me say it a ton of times on this Zoom already. We give you the tools and you set the pace. There's optional local, regional, and national wellness and training events. You go where you want to go.
So you might decide to get started with the program today, or you might decide that tomorrow is when you want to jump in and go ahead and pay it forward. Either way, it only takes a minute or 2 to get started. And I just want to tell you, we would be so excited for you to join the team and just get started today, tomorrow.
Join our family. That's what it is. It's a family that does good together every single day.
And we just want to thank you guys. Thank you for joining us today and hearing these stories of transformation. We love you guys, and you guys go on and have a blessed evening.
Bye.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.